Okay, hello guys. So today we're going to talk about tutorial 5. And for tutorial 5, it will be a bit complicated. And the main thing that I'm covering tutorial 5 in this video is because I have no more time for actually extra classes. So the next PTP section will just straight dive into tutorial 6. So for this particular video itself, I will cover all the questions from tutorial 5 except for the last question, which I will do it in live next week. So before we were to try to attempt any question in tutorial 5 itself, there's a few things you need to take. Okay? First of all, for this tutorial itself, we are focusing on one particular main concept called the point attach translating reference system. So as I have always emphasized in my previous class, a point attached translating reference system is at which our reference frame is set in the perspective of a point rather than a rigid body. So what I mean is this, okay? If I were to have 2 points, for example A and B, and let's say that I want to find the velocity of point B in relative to A, means I want to find velocity of B with respect to A. If A were to define as a point attached translating reference system, let me repeat, a point attached translating reference system, it means that A does not rotate. Does not rotate. Meaning to say, if we were to define A as a point attached translating reference system, when we were to view the motion of B from A will have 2 axes, namely Y and X, which can only be in motion in our perspective, which is constantly upright and to the horizontal level in this case. Meaning to say, if A were to be a point attached translating reference system, this Y and X axis with respect to A will not rotate. In our perspective as an absolute motion viewer, A will only be in this direction, or translating in such a way at which the Y and X axis does not rotate. When it rotates, it means that it is a body attached rotating reference system, which is totally different from what we are doing now. So just to make sure the concept is that in today's tutorial 5, all the concept we use is only point attached translating reference system. Okay, so meaning to say, when we are solving equations based on this particular reference system concept, the 2 equations that should pop up in our mind will be the first equation, VA, where A is our motion of interest, is actually, oh sorry, can't see it. Okay, so when we are solving this kind of a point attached translating reference system, right, there's 2 equations that must pop up. First of all, VA, where A is actually the velocity of the object that we are concerned with, is equals to velocity of A with respect to B, where B is a point attached translating reference frame, plus VB. Okay? And in terms of the acceleration-wise, acceleration of A, just like what you see in the velocity form, so I forgot the vector sign here, acceleration A is equals to acceleration of A with respect to B plus acceleration of B. Please do take note, if you actually proceed to further lectures in the course itself, you will realize that for body attached rotating reference system, different from this, right, you have an extra Coriolis acceleration equation. But in this case, because it's point attached translating reference system, there is no Coriolis acceleration. These are the only 2 equations that you need. Okay, so what is the difference between body attached rotating reference system and point attached translating reference system? I'm not going to distinct the differences now. So you just accept the fact that we need to use point attached first. After we talk about body attached, right, only we will do the distinctive difference. So when you are doing this tutorial, just keep in mind that you always use these 2 equations only. There is no Coriolis acceleration or what sort. Okay? So today I'm going to, so for this tutorial, right, there is actually a trick, a very good guideline on how should you solve every single question. So to solve questions which involve this kind of equations, right, point attached translating reference frame, the main thing you just need to know is A, how to actually input the direction of motion, how to input the magnitude of motion, and after that apply dot product to get your final answer. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's just solve the first question for tutorial 5 and we will check it out, okay? So, for example, for tutorial 5, I am actually given this diagram itself. And for this diagram, I'm given a few certain parameters. First of all, I'm given that this degree here is 30 degrees. Okay? And I'm also given that this is 70 degrees in this case. And according to the question itself, it says that this is A and this is B. And A is moving at a constant velocity of 900 millimeters per second to the right. Meaning to say I can say that V, this is A, okay, this is A, this is B. And so A is moving at 900 millimeters per second to the right. Alright? So, now our main motive was to find the angular velocity of rod AB. So how do we intend to do that? So, as I said before, you don't have to think about the complications of the constraint of the motion. The only thing you need is these two equations and how to apply them, that's all. How to input the correct value, that is the main thing. Because when you know this idea, using the power of dot product, you can find any answer instantaneously. So how do we do this? For example, today we want to find the angular velocity of rod AB and the velocity of B. So these are the two things we want to find. Angular velocity of rod AB and what is it called? Velocity of the collar B. So let's set up our equation first, alright? Our equation says that using this particular equation plugged into here, velocity of A is equals to velocity of A with respect to B plus velocity of B. So use the polar form method to solve it. What is velocity of A? So as I told you, velocity of A is a vector, right? So vector has directions and magnitude. So the magnitude in this case is actually 900, because we assume that as 900 millimeters per second is given in the question. And the direction, sorry, it's not that clear, right? The direction of this velocity of A is towards the right. For angles towards the right, the degree, or the what is it called, the polar angle is actually 0 degrees. Right, so that's A. Is equals to, okay, so this is the tricky part. What is velocity of A with respect to B? The main meaning of this term, velocity of A with respect to B, means what will be the motion of B in A's perspective. Okay, look at this. But before that, let's just jump out of this question and view this thing from a more third perspective, okay? We will see that A and B, no matter how the motion goes, A and B will always have a fixed distance from each other. Meaning to say, no matter how this motion works and carries out, since A and B is connected by a rigid rod, A and B will always have the same distance from each other, not further, not closer. This means that in A's perspective, in B's perspective in this case, because A with respect to B, in B's perspective, it will always think that A is actually in a circular motion, because A is always in the same distance away from it, right? So, but due to direction purpose, easiness, I will just change this velocity of A with respect to B. I will just put a bit of twist. I will just make it into the negative of velocity of B with respect to A. The reason why I do this changing is not because you can't solve it using the first method, but just that it's easier for me to find the angle. I will explain to you why later. Okay, so let's just make velocity of A with respect to B become velocity of B with respect to A and put a negative sign in front of it so it's equal. Okay, so what is the velocity of B with respect to A? The motion is still a circular motion. And using the formula, the polar formula for circular motion, we know that the velocity of B with respect to A, since it's a circular motion, we can apply the formula. So negative, the whole thing would be this distance, which let's just make this distance as RAB, okay, the distance from between AB is RAB. So let's just say that velocity of B with respect to A is equals to RAB times omega. Angular will be theta plus 90 degrees. This is the ultimate formula. If you forgot, you can actually revise it a bit. So according to the polar formula for circular motion, right, it is actually stated this way. Any motion which registers a circular motion will obey this equation, at which its velocity is equals to the radius times the omega, and the direction would be its position angle plus 90 degrees. Right? This is the one thing that we actually prove it out in the previous classes for a long time. Okay, so today we just plug this equation into here. Why can we plug this equation into here? Because the motion of B with respect to A is actually in a circular motion. Why is it in a circular motion? Because the A and B always have a fixed distance between them. That is why, from A perspective, B is always registering a circular motion. So at that particular moment, its velocity will be equals to R, the distance between them, times the angular velocity of the rod, and then the direction will be the position vector of B with respect to A plus 90 degrees. What do I mean by that? Let's just put it at that way first, okay? So, now, the next thing I'll just plus VB. VB in this case is actually in this direction. Right? VB is in this direction. So first of all, we don't know where VB goes. We don't know whether VB is going up or going down. We know that it will always move along this line. In our reference frame as the absolute motion viewer, we will see that B always moves along this rod, and this rod is fixed. So there's two possible directions for the motion of VB. But the magnitude is unknown. So let's just put the magnitude first. Since the magnitude is unknown, right, we will just put the magnitude of B as VB. Okay? Clear enough? Right. How about the direction? In this case, the direction can be negative 70, meaning going down. Or in other words, negative 70 plus 180 degrees will be equal to 110 degrees. Meaning to say that this is 110 degrees. Okay? If B is going upwards, its direction motion for VB will be 110. If VB is going downwards, its direction motion will be negative 70. Right? So, because it's always measured from this horizon here. So, the next question will be, do we actually put 70 or 110? The answer is, it does not matter. This is because if you were to put 70 or 110, if the absolute motion is opposite of what you initially defined, there will be a negative sign. Okay, so in this case, I will say that let's just put the direction motion of VB be negative 70 degrees. Okay, to make things easier, 70 degrees. Right. So in this case, this theta plus pi over 2, so I just make it into like degree root of 90 degrees. Much more easy. Okay, now let's look at this. Do we have RAB? We have RAB. So let's repeat this whole calculation again. And let's put 900. I'm just copying this thing from here to here. Is equals to negative. Okay, what is RAB? RAB is equals to what is it called? 300 is given here. The length rod is 300 is given. And okay, so in this case, we define this part as velocity of B with respect to A. Right? We define this term as velocity of B with respect to A. And we know that it is a circular motion. And we know that circular motion is defined by RAB times the omega of the rod, which is an unknown that we are interested to find. And first we put omega here. But the direction, so what is the direction motion of B with respect to A? If A were to view B as a circular motion, what is B's direction of velocity with respect to A? How do we find that? Well, it can be found out easily actually, because if you view closely, okay, if A were to think that B is rotating in a circular motion, the direction of motion of B can only be in two directions. It's either pointing here or pointing here. Right? These are the two possible motions for B with respect to A. I repeat, with respect to A, not respect to Earth. Which, with respect to us, velocity of B direction is in negative 70 or 110. But with respect to A, because B is registering a circular motion, B direction of motion of B with respect to A can only be in this direction or this direction. And now the main problem is, how do we find the angle for these two vectors, to either of these two vectors? How to define the vectors? Well, the truth is it's actually quite hard. You need to use like trigonometry to find it out. But there's actually a shortcut, a formula that you can always follow. So in this case, if we were to view B from A, the position vector of corner B with respect to A is actually negative 30, right? Imagine that there's actually an xy axis here. There's an xy axis here. And basically this is corner B. So position of B with respect to A, position is negative 30 degrees. And if the whole thing is registering a circular motion, the velocity of the interested object will be 90 degrees away from its position vector. Meaning to say, in this case, since B is registering a circular motion around A, and position vector of B with respect to A is negative 30 degrees. Let's draw it down first. The position vector is negative. It's negative 30 degrees. Okay. It means that the velocity direction will be equals to the position vector negative 30 plus 90 degrees. This is the ultimate rule. It wouldn't be wrong as long as A and B are registering a circular motion about each reference frame. So in this case, 300 omega, the direction will be negative 30 degrees plus 90 degrees. Why? Just simply because negative 30 is the position vector of B with respect to A, and since B registered a circular motion around A, B must definitely have a velocity direction 90 degrees away from its position vector. Make sense? Good. So, here, I'll just bracket this whole thing out. Okay. Alright, and let's just copy this thing down, plus VB, direction negative 20. Okay? And actually, we can actually try to simplify this thing. Negative 30 plus 60, 90 is actually 60 degrees. It is 60 degrees here. Alright. Alright. So according to the questions, what they want us to find is this omega. Because this omega is equal to the angular velocity of the rod AB. Why is it the angular velocity of the rod AB? Because B is registering a circular motion around A. In A perspective, B is rotating in a circular motion. So this rod determines the radius, and thus its angular velocity is the angular velocity that we are concerned about. So this omega is what we want to find. This VB is what we want to find. Okay, because after that we want to find the absolute motion of the velocity of B. In this case, when this whole thing lays out, can you solve this equation? Yes, you can. How should you solve this equation? You can solve this equation in two manners. The first way is to solve it using the I and J method. Meaning to say, you set up the, what is it called? You set up the matrix form, aka 900 cos 0, 900 sin 0. Then you just bracket it, then do the whole matrix thing again and get an answer. But I do not suggest that. In my case, I will always suggest you all to use the dot product method. Meaning to say, if today you are interested in omega, so what you want to do is you want to get rid of VB. If you want to get rid of VB, the first thing you should do is find the angular direction for omega, which is 60 degrees. Then you think of an angle which when you minus 60, will get 90. So what angle, when you minus 60, you will get 90 degrees? Or the answer is the angle will be equals to 150 degrees. Right? So what you do next is you dot product left side, you have 150 degrees, and you dot product right side with 150 degrees. Okay? And then